My own sister stopped listening to the podcast.
God damn.
Can you believe that? Just because we roasted her a little for being vegan. Come on.
I mean,
Grow up.
vegans are allowed to get roasted a little. You just have to you have to roast them on a different grill than what the meat's on, you know?
Yeah, otherwise it's unethical for people getting allergies.
Yeah, motherfucker. We're gonna take it up a few notches right now. See if y'all can keep up. Wanna give a motherfucker sucker, put your hand up.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 68 of the ScruffCast. I'm John.
And I'm Ian.
Yes, listeners, you may remember a few weeks ago I told you Dan was going away, so I was going to have a couple guest hosts come in and be my co-pilot for the few weeks. Last week we had Kalon.
And this
Shout out
week
to
you have
Kalon.
me.
He
And
did a good job.
Yeah, he did.
And then this week I'm bringing in Ian. You may remember him from a couple weeks back. I'm trying to remember the episode title, but it escapes me. Tokyo Shit. Yes,
Yeah.
when we did our top 5 movies. And he
Yeah.
picked Tokyo Drift. And Dan was like, what? And you were like, what? You don't like Tokyo Drift? Yes, Tokyo Shit. You may remember him from episode 50-something, Tokyo Shit.
Yeah.
Well, Ian, thank you for coming in and filling in for us.
Thank you for having me. Of course, I love being on this podcast. I love listening to it. And Kalon, of course, shout out to you. Last podcast was a great one.
I got some positive feedback. Although, I must say, I woke up Wednesday morning, right? So normally we record Mondays. Last week we recorded Tuesday to accommodate our guest host's schedule. And we recorded Tuesday night. I uploaded the podcast. So I was ready to go Wednesday morning when they normally come out, which is probably when you guys are listening to this. I check WhatsApp and I get a message from Dan. And he goes, an hour and 23 minutes? Jesus, fuck Kalon. And I was like, damn, dude. Yeah, I know. That's why we named it Kalon's Back the Marathon. It was a long episode. But
He came back with a vengeance, man. It seems like he was planning.
dude, that's what we should have named it.
Kalon's vengeance.
Kalon's Back with a Vengeance.
Yeah, man.
That's a missed opportunity right there.
Seems like he did one of those Rambo, what do you call them? The
Bad Blood or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't remember
yeah.
First Blood. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, I know what you mean.
One of those montages where he's exercising in the woods. He's preparing his statements.
He's got a little microphone in his own place. He's practicing his vocal cords. Yeah.
I must say though, his choice for desserts were interesting to say the least.
Yes, those of us who follow the ScruffCast on Twitter at ScruffCast may have seen you tweeted at us.
Yeah.
And he said, quite simply, "Tell Kalon crepes are trash."
They're lazy pancakes. I remember when I was younger, I had an aunt that from Montreal, so whenever she said she was making pancakes, we'd get excited, right? But then she ended up making crepes, and we be like, "Yo, what's going on? These aren't pancakes. Pancakes are supposed to be fluffy, thick." Sorry, Kalon, but crepes are a waste of time, in my opinion.
I could see that if you were looking forward to pancakes, Ian, come down, it's pancake time. You're like, yes, pancakes. Okay, love pancakes.
Thin.
You already picture him putting the syrup and the butter on there, and you sit down, put down the crepes. The son of a bitch, you can't even stack them.
Yeah, and there's no
stack crepes.
We were talking about earlier. There's no ice cream inside of the crepe.
Yeah, I don't mind a crepe, but if you go to a dessert place like Dimitri's or something, is a place they have here in Ontario at least. I don't know if they're a national chain or anything. But
at Dan's wedding, his dessert was a crepe with ice cream in it, and that was good.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good. Good choice.
Crepes on their own.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to the fillings. But yeah, Dimitri's, you can get we got a nice honey vanilla ice cream. Shout out to vanilla ice cream, which was my third choice on the dessert list last week. And it's quite good. But anyways, I would agree. Especially as a kid, kids don't eat crepes.
No. That's a fancy
if you expect
adult
pancakes,
dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. So, as always, we killed off the question and ponder a while back. So we'll take requests when people email in. To scruffcast@gmail.com. Just like nobody did this week. Thanks a lot, guys. So we have no questions to ponder.
I think Dan's the only one person that's pretty much been bringing in emails. It's weird, eh?
I know, what the heck. Dude, I'm out on the campaign trail, out on the stump, as they say. I'm messaging people. You got any emails? I heard word from my mom this week. My own sister stopped listening to the podcast.
God damn.
Can you believe that? Just because we roasted her a little for being vegan. Come on.
I mean,
grow up.
Vegans are allowed to get roasted a little. You just have to you have to roast them on a different grill than what the meat's on,
Yeah, otherwise it's unethical. People are going to get allergies. Shit their pants because they have a little cube of beef. Yeah, the vegan lifestyle. I don't think I could do it. It'd be too tough.
I'm already skinny enough as it is. I feel like I would die on a vegan diet.
Yeah, I can't say the same. My reasoning isn't because I'm going to be too skinny, I'll die. My reasoning is different than yours. I don't know. Just like meat too much. All right. So one of the first things I have sort of on this, agenda here is you brought up the topic earlier today of fun days. Like, for instance, last week there was National Cheeseburger Day.
Yeah, and last week also was the National Video Game Day. So happy National Video Game Day.
Yeah, I saw you got your Pac-Man socks on.
Yeah, you got your PlayStation.
My PlayStation socks. Feeling good.
We're only a week late.
Well, you know what? I didn't know it was National Video Game Day. So, essentially, you want to get my opinion on these days. And did we talk about this one time before?
Probably. Because it was probably another day where
probably another day came up, like National Podcast Day or something. I don't know. Is that a day?
Yeah.
I gotta look that up.
So the reason I brought it up was because Twitter. For those of you that don't know, I work in advertising. So Twitter is one of our partners that we work with, and they give out these calendars, and in the calendars has your normal holidays, but then it also shows like random fun days, they call it. So like John was alluding to, last week was National Cheeseburger Day. The other one was National Video Game Day, and then tomorrow's Punctuation Day.
Is it National Punctuation Day?
No, it's just Punctuation Day.
Just punctuation.
And it even has the exclamation mark in the title itself too. A day to celebrate, your favorite punctuation. So if you're a comma fan out there, semicolon, I don't know.
You know what? Yeah, I feel like the semicolon is an underused piece of punctuation.
I don't understand how to use it though.
Me either, and that's why it's underused. You know what? I am a big fan of using like the brackets, the parentheses, if you will.
Right,
I'll probably overuse them.
What's the one with the 3 dots? What's that called? I like using that one.
An ellipsis.
Ellipsis. Okay. Yeah.
Like, some people say
build suspense. ...
The ScruffCast is the best podcast of all time.
See?
Some people say that. Not me. And not Oprah. We put out the call to her on Twitter long ago, and she just refused to follow us back.
Busy running for president, or planning to at least.
Matter of fact, she just pretends the ScruffCast doesn't exist, which, dare I say, is pretty hurtful. We're a small business.
Yeah.
Granted, we have zero revenue, but that's because we're out here trying to grow.
You never know, man. If Kalon gets successful with his crepe business, he can sponsor us.
Kalon's Crepes. It starts with, has the double C alliteration on
it. Yeah.
Do you remember, and this might be like a deep cut, I don't know if any of our listeners will remember this. In elementary school, there was this program CCC. Do you remember this?
No. Was it
you
like...
don't remember this?
No. Was it like RAID?
No, it was like this computer program. It was a program on the computer where it had
like the circus and thing.
Yeah,
with the math problems.
I can't remember what CCC stands for.
That bootleg math problem thing.
Yeah, it was like a math problem. It's like, you have one clown over here, and he's got to get on the trapeze to the other thing.
But then it would get oddly difficult too. Like there was one about angles, and you would have to aim the clown to make sure he doesn't fall off the trapeze or whatever.
Yeah, and there was you had to shoot a clown out of a cannon or something.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and it's like, you picked the wrong angle. The clown broke his neck and died. Way to go. 10-year-old Ian, you're like, oh damn,
running Bozo on the I don't know if you remember St. Bridget's, the colorful Macs that they had that were completely slow with the slowest internet.
Dude, those are the days. I remember we had this girl in our class in the 3rd grade. Me and Dan told a story. Cheyenne. Dan told a story about her beating us up for our fruit roll-ups way back in the day. I remember she had a giant magnet in her hands, and she held it in front of the computer monitor, because that was back when they were all the CRT devices, and I remember it totally messed up the monitor.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, Cheyenne, look what you did now.
Fun fact: her middle name is Chocolate.
Really?
Yeah, legit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
She had 6 middle names. It was Cheyenne, Diane, Chocolate, and then a host of other names after that. I just remember that about her. I didn't know that story though about the magnet.
Yep, I remember.
And those were the Macs where the computer was actually inside of the monitor.
Yeah,
so if you messed that up,
it was the original iMac. What they called the Mac 2000, something like that.
And there's different colors, and people used to fight over what color they wanted.
Yeah, I've seen cool projects now online where people will take those and then actually turn them into fish tanks.
Yeah,
that would be really cool. I remember a couple years back, my uncle actually was like, "Oh, here, I have this old, I found this old computer if you want it." So, gave it to me, and it was an orange iMac, which orange is actually my favorite color. Shout out.
Yeah.
And but not my favorite fruit.
Do you still have the computer?
No.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you should turn that into a fish tank.
Yeah, because Long-time listeners or listeners who've been around for at least a few months may remember we used to have Akko, the beta fish, here in the studio. He died.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Akko.
Pour out some alcohol for him.
Pour one out for the homie. That was in the description. It was John and Dan pour one out for the homie.
Oh,
something and more. Yeah, I'll get another fish eventually. I've got another tank ready to go.
For a Heim to install.
Pardon?
For Heim or Jaime to install.
Oh,
sorry, I'm pronouncing his name wrong.
Sorry, Jaime. I have no Jaime tales for you guys this week. This week, did I? Oh yeah, I told the story when he called and he was like, "Hey, how old's Madonna?" I am talking with your uncle. This is dummy over here. This is dummy over here. He needs to know.
Well, do you have any from I don't know, from the past that are funny, or is it just too hard to think of on the spot?
Maybe it was like last year, 2 years ago. I went over to my dad's, and he's got a little deck that comes out the side of the house.
Right.
And he had there what I thought was a garbage bin, right? Mm-hmm. And upon a closer inspection, it was a diaper genie. Now, my dad hasn't had any kids for like 23 years, right? Since my sister was born. There's been no babies. Mm-hmm. It's like, Dad, why do you have a diaper genie sitting here? And he goes, "Oh, I saw it on the side of the road. I thought it was a garbage bin. Free garbage bin." But it was a diaper genie, which he's since gotten rid of.
Once he found out the truth.
No, Dad, it's for diapers. Similarly, on the side of the road on garbage day, one time he found a vacuum. And he goes, "Yeah, maybe this will work." You know what? He brought that vacuum in, repaired it himself, and he still has it. And this thing was probably 12, 15 years ago now. Yeah, still works. Wow. Still works. So,
handyman.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, man.
Shout out to Jam fixing that vacuum. So, I got a vacuum for my birthday earlier this year. Which is like kind of super lame. Like, that's how you know you're getting older. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
you're getting a vacuum for your birthday.
I've just been really feeling my age. Now, not like I'm getting like, oh, my bones are creaking, but like just feeling like, damn, like what happened? Because
it's the small things like that, right? Like
I can think of two things.
Excited for a vacuum cleaner.
Right. So first off, I needed a vacuum. I got a vacuum, which I probably only used like 3 times.
You have hardwood floors too, so it's kind of hard. But you have the rug in the living room, right? So
yeah, but vacuuming is just the worst. And then, so that was one thing that made me think of getting old. And it's probably like a month ago, 2 months ago, went to my aunt's, okay, for a barbecue. I went to the washroom there, and I saw she had like tiles that went like halfway up the walls, and then like the rest of the way up was like painted. And I kind of looked at it, and I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. And I'm like, damn, what's happening to me? Kind of nice admiring the decor.
Well, that was like when we went to Carpino's house, and like that was the same thing. Like when we saw what he did to the house, we're all like so impressed, and like we were like asking questions, and like, how long does this take you? Like that.
Yeah, one of our buddies, because the listeners obviously don't know him, invited us to a diaper party because he's having a baby later this year, and he did a lot of the work. Like he bought a house himself, right, and he did a lot of the work, sort of renovating the basement and stuff. We're like, damn, dude, this turned out pretty nice. Meanwhile, we're over here closer to the GTA where everything's absurdly expensive.
Yeah. And not even like...
just waking up, just crying every day.
Worth it, expensive. Like, no.
Nope. Have we ever talked about the concept of a diaper party on here? I don't think so.
No.
Dan had one.
So, listeners, if you don't know what a diaper party is, it's basically the male equivalent of basically a baby shower. So, what happens is the father or soon-to-be father throws a party, provides the alcohol, food, and what have you, and basically all the guests just show up with diapers for the baby. Doesn't matter the size, doesn't matter, because you can exchange diapers apparently.
It's like a brilliant, like a genius idea. Like, who thought of this? Yeah, everybody come over and hang out, and then just bring me diapers, and then poof, you got like a shit ton of diapers. When Dan had a diaper party before his kid was born, he got so many diapers, he made a throne of diapers he could actually sit on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And Carpino's actually, Carpino, who we went to, his was like hitting the ceiling, I think.
Yeah, he had like a good little Great Wall of China of diapers.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy to think about, because like you run through diapers and then you like I said, you get to exchange them for different sizes, and it's like I didn't realize like that was such a thing.
Dude, there's so many things like I didn't even realize. I remember I sent Dan a text. I'm like, what size of diapers do I get here? I never thought I'd be asking you this. And he goes, oh, apparently you can exchange them, which I guess is true.
Yeah, if you don't use them, you don't use them, right?
If you don't use them, you don't use them. But somehow we were talking about National Cheeseburger Day.
And ended up on diapers.
Yeah, how do we go on this run here? This has been riveting for the listeners. Oh, so I looked it up. September 30th. So coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to remember this is International Podcast Day.
Oh.
So listeners, you can celebrate by telling your friends about the magic that is a ScruffCast.
And by then, Dan will be back doing his normal duties, and you can email him because apparently that's what you guys like to do is email when Dan's on and not anybody else.
Yep. Nobody likes to email when it's just me and a guest host.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm doing my best over here.
And Kalon is an interesting person when you get to ask him many questions that he gets to rant on. So please,
You guys could have written about anything.
email Kalon questions.
If you had to take a guess, what national day do you think it is today?
Today?
Yes. Apparently, there's a National Day calendar where every day is National Something Day.
If I had to take, so today is September 16th. For listeners that are listening to this on the 17th, which is again punctuation day.
No, they'll be listening on the 18th, Wednesday.
On the 18th, Wednesday. Oh shoot.
Come on.
I'm not sure actually. What's today?
I'm not gonna lie. I can't figure out where the hell to go on this website. Oh, here you go. If you open National Day calendar, why wouldn't it show you on the homepage what today is? Today is...
That's not smart UX design.
No, it's terrible. UX for I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Inclined listeners is user experience coming from that marketing world. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different days. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the days, and I want you to rank them for me. Okay?
All right, cool.
I'm just reading them in the order that was here. First, today's National Guacamole Day.
I like
Right.
guac, okay.
National Mayflower. No, actually, it's just Mayflower Day.
Like the flower itself, or like, is there any symbolism behind that? Or
I don't know. It looks like a little theme park on there.
oh,
I didn't make the day, Ian. Stop asking me too many questions.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
National
Keep
Cinnamon
going.
Raisin Bread Day. Dude, big cinnamon
That's
raisin bread.
That's my mom's
is behind
favorite.
This.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
National Play-Doh
It's
Day.
funny.
National Step Family Day.
Oh.
National Working Parents Day. Dude, who makes up these days?
Step parents and working parents, but working parents are step parents, or sorry, vice versa.
Well,
Confusing. Like step parents.
you could be a
work.
step parent, but doesn't mean you're a working parent, or you could be a working parent, doesn't mean you're a step parent.
Yeah. Huh. But if
So,
I
like,
had to rank that though, I'd
what-
put Guac Day first, Play-Doh Day second. Because I remember as a kid I loved Play-Doh.
Dude, now, there's something I'll never understand about Play-Doh is, first off, they're making these awesome colors, right? And then it just had this like nice smell to it, right?
Yeah.
And then Play-Doh came out with these things where it's like mold the Play-Doh into food-looking things, but it's
Yeah.
like very hazardous. Don't eat this or let your child eat this. But it's like, why are you letting me press it into like pieces of bacon then?
And
if it looks delicious,
I don't know if you remember, but restaurants used to actually have their own Play-Doh kits. So like McDonald's had one. And
dude,
this
I
was-
do remember this. You make the fries.
Yeah, and
yeah.
The one my cousin had was the McFlurry one, because that was when the McFlurry actually just came out. So they were promoting that, and they released like a McFlurry kit.
Like, how is a kid not going to want to eat that?
Exactly.
Dude, it's making me hungry just thinking about this food Play-Doh.
I know, but we won't go into the food stuff. Was last week, so well.
Yeah. I had my foodie expert on. You're more of a well-rounded cultural.
Thank you. I
know,
appreciate that.
World traveler, if you will.
Yeah.
You know, sort of the ScruffCast zone, Mr. Worldwide over here.
Mr. Pitbull over here.
Yeah.
What's his? What does he say? Dale.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He just says Dale in every song before.
What? Oh, okay. Was it no?
Mr.
No, it was
305.
Kalen. It was Kalen was on. Or no, somebody emailed us and they told us what hot girl, boy, summer, or whatever it was. But then we're also talking about episode Yeet. What the hell does that mean?
Oh, I'm not sure.
You don't know, dude? I thought you know.
No, but
Dude,
Yeet?
nobody knows
No.
what Yeet means.
No.
All right.
I mean, we could check your Urban Dictionary right now if you're really curious, but
Now I'm afraid what's going to come up.
I know Hot Girl Summer was about that Megan Thee Stallion song.
Oh, dude, I read something about it and it was like Hot Girl Summer's gone, but like
Fine.
Hot
Dress. Ah.
Girl Semester was here because school's starting, and I was like, oh my god, these people can't be stopped.
Man, the attention that some of these people want or try to get, like using like Hot Girl Summer, like
Dude, it's like you're speaking another language. I don't even know what that means.
yeah,
How are they using Hot Girl Summer? What is it?
I don't know.
How do you
It's just
use
like
it?
apparently
Like,
it's like
can we
a
use it
confidence boost, really,
like-
where like you
Like
brag about what you want to do this summer and how you're gonna show off. Like,
But like, Can we use that hot girl summer power to like get people to listen to the ScruffCast?
I don't think so. No.
What? Well, you said so matter of fact.
Well, I mean, we're not hot girls, so like, I don't think
The listeners don't know. They don't.
The female ScruffCast listeners, if there are any,
The listeners don't know what we look like.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Could just be a hot girl with a
Try hashtagging it and seeing if it works.
hashtag.
Like
It's
all the
about
hot
hashtag.
girls who did Hot Girl Summer has to listen to this podcast, and
I see. I've already got it. John and Ian put out the Hot Girl Summer Challenge.
Yeah,
That's what it's going to be. In this
listen to this whole podcast.
You know, I'm going to start putting random hashtags when we tweet this on Twitter.
Yeah.
ScruffCast follows.
Hopefully, it picks up something.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever the trending thing.
Right.
Whatever the trending thing will be.
Mm-hmm.
Without ranking the other days, National Cinnamon Raisin Bread Days. Just got to go last.
Yeah, gotta go last. Sorry, Mom. I know you love that bread, but
Oh, you can click on them. They each have their own individual thing.
you know what I thought about the other day, actually? And speaking about my mom, was when you guys used to call her Aunt Jemima.
Well,
And she actually
that
found
goes back to the pancakes.
She found out that day, or like one day, and actually laughed about it.
Well, I mean, were we not at your house eating pancakes?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. Enough said. Oh my god, there's like a whole lore. Oh my god, this National Day calendar has like how to observe hashtag National Cinnamon Raisin Bread Day. Stop at a local bakery or make some homemade. Either way, be sure to share with someone you care about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Be
didn't
sure
bring
to
the,
share with someone you care about.
Wow.
What's with the shitty ass writing on these websites?
You just dropped the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just mad. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me mad. All right.
You know what? Today is Small Cookie Day. We'll keep it at that.
Yes, Ian was gracious enough to bring over small cookies. Dude, that's how you get yourself back to guest host. You bring the hosts gifts.
Yeah, of course, man.
Just saying. Just saying. Well done. Maybe we'll think of you next time we need a guest host.
Yeah.
Or just a third chair, now that we figured out our microphone situation.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
We rambled for 21 minutes. I can't imagine anybody still sticking around. But we'll power through to the next thing. So, you had a little bit of a gripe. You told me you wanted to complain about people.
If I may.
Dude, the ScruffCast is a complaint podcast.
Yeah,
So-
I agree.
Go off, King.
All right, so
That's what the young kids say.
for the past month, I got to see 2 movies. One of them was It Chapter 2,
Yep.
which was great, and the other one was I got to see last week was Hustlers, the Jennifer Lopez stripper movie, which was incredible.
Now, I should mention, Ian did invite me to go watch it with him as well, but I said,
Yeah.
no, bruh, I don't do the spooky stuff.
You know what? It wasn't scary. It was more so like I said, more bloody and gory. But
Dude, I can't take that risk. I show up, it's too spooky. Nobody wants to be that guy. I gotta get out. No.
just close your eyes and just like plug your ears and ignore that part.
Then why am I there? Why am I there?
It's not like the whole movie's scary though.
I just don't do the spooky stuff.
No, fair enough. Because you know what? I asked like 4 people and they're like, it's horror. I'm like, yeah. They're like, no.
Because I like to just think we're above that, you know?
Above horror?
And for this highbrow comedy and humor, like the ScruffCast.
But yeah, either way though, whether you're into horror, whether you're into comedy, whether you're into J-Lo being the lead actress, one of the most annoying
how was
things.
That?
What J-Lo as a lead actress?
Well, Hustler, you said it was incredible. Is
Incredible movie, dude.
Is that just because it was about strippers?
You think it's about just like strippers and the stripper lifestyle, but like it ended up being such a deep and meaningful like friendship movie, which I wasn't expecting.
Damn. You know, I did watch the trailer for it, and it looked pretty good.
No, I highly recommend, man. If you want to go see it, yeah. The stripping, that's the crazy thing about it. The stripping was only like a good section of the movie, and the rest of it was about. I don't want to spoil it, but like the rest of it
Fair
is
enough.
about
Was
the main
about
plot.
not stripping.
Yeah.
So, what percentage of the movie,
It's stripping for the male ScruffCast listeners. I would have to say,
or female,
who like that, 35% of it.
dude, that's a hefty ratio.
Well, they have to set up the
They
plot,
have to
right?
set up the suspense. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, they have to set it up, right?
You've piqued my curiosity. Although
But-
to be fair, I was already kind of interested in this movie. But
what I recommend though is go on a quiet day because like
he's getting rowdy.
same thing with like when I went to go see it. Same thing.
Yes, this was why you brought up the movie thing.
Yeah.
You had some gripes.
So when you go to a movie theater, there's certain etiquette that you have to follow. And once the trailers start playing, put away your phone, man. That's all it is. Just put away your phone, put it on silent. Make sure that it's not making any interruptions for other viewers in the audience, because I don't know if anybody notices, but when you sit down, it's like it's steep, right? Like, it goes down. So but even then, so it's a dark room, and the only thing that's lighting up
brings their phone up.
Yeah, exactly that.
It's so annoying.
And the only thing that lights up is the actual screen itself. So when you're getting engaged in the movie and like you're starting to follow it, and it's like, it's capturing your attention, right? All you see is some douche with the phone, and it lights up, and it's like,
dude,
and what's creepy too is like you see what's on their phone, and it's like,
because it's like it's the only other thing lit up in the room. So
exactly.
Like, damn, this guy's trying to buy
wood
oven pizza on Kijiji.
So during it was someone checked their Outlook during the movie. And
it's
then,
like, bro, how important are you? First off, why are you using Outlook?
I imagine it's for work, because that's what we use. But like, even then, so like 7:30 at night, like, what are you checking?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I've seen this before, and it just aggravates me so much, because it's like, why are you so important?
Yeah.
Well, you have to check your phone, like, as if like, nobody else is gonna notice. Bro, we all notice. We all see you checking your phone over there.
And like, for Hustlers, I went to a smaller theater, the Varsity at Bay and Bloor, and it's a much closer. It's much, like I said, it's smaller and it's much closer. So like, when the girl pulled out her phone and went on to iMessage, like, you can see her, like, what they were saying on there. And it's like,
what was she saying?
It wasn't even important shit. It's like, I'll be home in like 3 hours. I'm like, of course you will. You're watching a movie.
Bitch,
like,
I'm at the movies.
What do you mean? So that's just my gripe.
Still alive. They've stopped stripping for a while now. I'll update you. It's like, bring him to the movie with you.
Yeah.
Shaking my head. That
and
aggravates
like, when
me.
I went to go see Avengers too, it was the same thing. Like, people just pulling out their phones, and it's like, you can...
It's...
I get it. You're addicted to your phone, but like 2 hours is not going to kill you.
But it's like nice to shut it away. Because then you get like the dopamine rush of like you turn your phone back on or whatever. And you're like, ooh, who messaged me? And then sometimes
notifications.
Nothing, and you're like,
but you got to enjoy a good movie.
You got to enjoy the movie.
Your attention focuses on the movie. And
exactly. Like, yeah, the world's so connected nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're using your phone, unless you're listening to the ScruffCast, I don't know why you'd be using it.
Yeah, exactly. But you wouldn't be listening to ScruffCast in a theater unless it's like before the movie. Like I said, before the trailers, be my guest.
So my sort of goal for how big we could grow the ScruffCast would be if we could get a segment, like, hey, I'm Tanner Zipchen, and I'm here before the Cineplex movie starts talking to you about blah, blah, blah.
The
if
pre-show.
We could just sort of like get to that level where it's like, hey, we're John and Dan, and it's the ScruffCast, and hey, if you're not following us on Spotify, then you're not going to get any scene points. Just a little something like that.
You can earn scene points by just listening to the ScruffCast.
Yeah. Dude, I've got like over 10,000 plus scene points right now.
You should redeem it. What are you doing?
I can give them away to the listeners if the listeners would tell their friends.
You hear that, listeners? First 3 people to write in. Actually, no. What was the record again? 6?
4.
Okay, so
I think we matched 4 when we had the 2-week hiatus for Dan's wedding.
If we can get past 5 emails, then John will donate 3,000 of his scene points
to myself. Take my girlfriend out on a date. I don't know what we'll watch, but
you know what? You can tell her to do that so she can listen to the ScruffCast, because she said she doesn't listen.
I've tried to get her to listen. I even have to tell her, like, well, look, last week I was complaining about you about Rainbow Chip. You calling a fun fatty. She's like, what? No. Why are you making fun of me? Now I'm going to tell her this, and she's like, why do you make my voice sound like that? I don't sound like that. But like, dude, she never listens. Never.
Never. Oh well.
Yeah, bad theater etiquette, that grinds my gears as well.
Yeah, man.
That's why you got to go for the VIP experience.
But that's
costs a little extra, though.
Yeah.
Costs a little extra. But if you go on Cheap Tuesday, it's not too bad. But like otherwise, you got people bringing their kids and kids running around. And you know what? Actually, I went to go watch a movie at TIFF, the film fest, with my girlfriend just last week. Bad Education was a movie I went to watch. It was about some like school money embezzling scandal or whatever.
Right.
And there's this old couple next to me, and new characters introduced you hadn't seen up to this point in the movie. And the wife leans over and says, who's that? To her husband, and he goes, I don't know. We haven't seen them yet. And like, it's funny, every now and then she would lean over and be like, what did he say?
Oh.
He's like, oh, he said he's angry, or like stuff like that. Just kind of made me laugh.
So does that ruin it then for you, or
No, because it wasn't like they're being absurdly loud.
It was just like a quiet whisper. Okay, that's fine.
How do you feel about you go to the movies and then the movie's done and people clap?
Yeah, that's sign of respect.
Sign of respect, but like they're not there. We'll be clapping.
I don't know, man. It's just like everybody enjoyed the movie, and it was because after I went to go see the Dragon Ball Z movie in the theater, like people clapped at the end. It was
that I could see because that's like a little more niche or niche, if you will. So it's like you got all the Dragon Ball stands coming out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
whoa, Dragon Ball!
Like certain parts of the movie, people were like screaming, but like of joy, and it was like not even like obstructing or anything. So it was nice. Like they get excited for it. Like that.
I had a similar thing. I went to the PlayStation did this thing in movie theaters a couple years back for like E3, which is like the big video.
This was at the Scotiabank Theater.
They had the Scotiabank Theater downtown, and they streamed their like PlayStation's like keynote press conference live. It was like 2 hours long. So they're revealing stuff. We were like, oh shit, oh whoa. And you have those people like one guy showing up like dressed as like Spyro the Dragon, all full on's like, dude, you're the kind of guys making us look bad. But yeah, it had a similar vibe, right? People getting excited, people getting hyped up. Maybe one day, dude, I'd love if we could get the ScruffCast to the point where it's like you could have live shows.
Yeah, man.
That'd be the dream.
I've seen some podcasts do that lately. Like Desus and Mero does that. Pod Save America does that as well. Like actual live theater dates. Like that's cool.
That'd be cool. One day, listeners, tell your friends. Please share the word of the ScruffCast.
You know what? You and Danny should just like rent out a hall and just invite as much people as you can and just like do it there.
You see, that'd be cool, but the problem is, A, it costs money.
Yeah, sure.
So B, what are we gonna do? Sell tickets?
You know what? There's Ian,
you want to come watch the ScruffCast live? It's going to cost you $80.
Theater by my place where, like, I guess they do it for outdoor place, but, like, you can guys just set up shop, set up some
speakers. Dude, 100%. If it's outdoors, people are going to come in and they're going to start,
people start walking
watching.
their dog. Yeah.
We have to look into this. Although, with outdoor, there's the factor of people coming in and booing us.
There's a chance you got to say.
There's a chance. You got to roll with the punches. Not easy. Yeah. All right. Next little thing I have on the agenda here. Would you believe it's been 30 minutes already? Next thing I have on the agenda here is earlier today, Netflix announced that they got the rights to Seinfeld. My number one TV show, and the number one TV show for a lot of people. So this got me excited.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to ask you.
But then I saw they announced, we got the streaming rights to all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, coming in 2021. And I'm like, 2021? Like, so far away, why even announce it?
I was reading the article and it said that it had to do with like them timing it so they could be prepared for when The Office and I forget the other show. I think it's Parks and Rec when both of those shows leave.
Friends is on.
Sorry,
is Friends leaving as well?
Office, yeah. Dan's gonna cry over that, man.
Yeah, but it's a little lame. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what, 2021, okay, it's a little far away. Then it made me think about this concept I talked about on the podcast with Dean a while back, which is like, you always have these sort of things on the horizon that you think like, okay, I want to see the end of this. I can't die till then. So the example I used back then was like Game of Thrones. I was like, man, gotta wait a year for Game of Thrones. Like I cannot die in the next year. Like I gotta get to the end of Game of Thrones. Then we end up saying like, well, you could have died. It would have been fine. So now.
Same thing with the
Sure, I've watched Seinfeld before. I don't think I've seen all 180 episodes. But
you've seen the majority of them, though.
I've seen the majority. Like I've seen well over like probably 75-80% of them. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Now I'm like, well, can't die till at least 2021 plus 180 episodes worth of airtime because I got something on the horizon. I mean, obviously, I have like I don't know, growing my career, getting married, doing all that sort of stuff. Like we're talking about the important things here, people.
But the funny aspect is like it's not nothing stopping you from going to like a website and just streaming them, like
No, that's true.
It's just the work behind it. It's
just the work.
But
yeah, but then I don't know. Maybe I'm buying into the marketing. You marketing people, you're the worst.
Yeah, we are.
But then I saw in Canada the rights are already owned by like Bell or whatever because it's on Crave TV. Which actually I already have Crave TV, but I never used it.
So wait, you have Crave TV and so you have Seinfeld already on there?
I think so. I have to do
some all 180 episodes? Or?
I think so. Or like they own the rights. I don't know.
So you don't have to really wait till 2021.
Or was it Crave TV? No, wasn't there other service? Crackle? What a terrible name for a service. Crackle.
Sony.
But if it's not Canada, I'll be pissed.
It should be. I think it's North American.
I'll be furious, Netflix.
This
furious
streaming
Crave.
stuff is getting crazy now. There's too many platforms now, and it's like
It is.
getting
So
crazy.
the problem
man.
before is that you're paying for cable and you're like, I'm getting everything and I don't want it all, right? So I want to piecemeal it up. And now it's like, we have a streaming service and we have a streaming service and we have a streaming service. So it's like, now you got to bundle it all together.
It's funny because
$10 for this, $10 for this, $10 for this.
Till Disney and like, I guess Fox started doing their.
Well, Disney bought Fox, remember?
Yeah.
They own everything.
They didn't bring Hulu up here, but we have Crave, and then we have Amazon Prime Video as
Amazon
well.
Prime's another thing. Yeah, shout out to The Expanse. That's a good show on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and The Boys, man. Thank you for getting me into that.
And The Boys, yeah. Did you finish watching
Incredible
it?
show, yeah.
God, dude. Yeah. We'll
Can't
talk
wait.
about it after the podcast.
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil anything.
Can't wait for the second season, though. But highly recommend.
Yep. So it's getting the double shout out. I shout out once. You took my shout out, watched it, and now you come back and you're confirming the shout out.
No, it was a good show.
That's
It was a good recommendation.
Shout out. Dude, just like now I'm the marketing guy.
Yeah.
That's probably it for the agenda. I didn't really have anything else before we kick into the top 5 for this week. Did you have anything anything on the top of your mind you want to go into?
No. I complained about theaters. I told Kaylin that crepes are terrible. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied right now.
You know, I'm liking this ScruffCast. Last week, we're bringing the heat. We were talking about food. Nothing gets Kaylon excited, and myself, like talking about food. This week, we're laid back, a little more chill.
Yeah.
Just bringing, it's got sort of a fireside chat sort of vibe, right? Like sitting next to my fireplace here as I'm motioning to the wall where there would be a fireplace, but there's none. All right.
I suppose you didn't set up the studio like beside your fireplace, but I guess that makes sense that it's in the office.
If I wanted to film, then maybe, right? Could put up some cool artwork there. Right now, it's just a plain wall.
Put your fish there.
Want to spruce it up, yeah. Yeah, I've got plans to spruce up the studio one of these days. The listeners will get to see. All right, Ian. Well, let's keep the good vibes rolling. We'll kick it into this week's top 5.
Sweet.
Now, this is your suggestion based on the fact that last week was National Video Game Day. You thought, why don't we do top 5 video games?
Yeah, all time.
All time. So this is a top 5 near and dear to my heart. I didn't even need to go and make the list because I already had it on hand. I already knew.
Do you want to give listeners some context how the list came to be?
This isn't top 5 as in like the top 5, like the best, like highest quality video games, right? Because of course I haven't played every single video game. But this is just like my personal top 5, as in like the games that are most special to me.
Yeah,
maybe
you
they
felt
hold the best memories,
personal connection with it. Yeah.
So, of course, we'll have 5 games and an honorable mention. Don't forget about that honorable mention.
Of course not.
I always have a tough time breaking it down. All right, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first, Ian?
Please, after you.
Oh, giving me the honors. All right. I have to just open the list here. All right, my top 5. Number 5. As I look at the list, I always struggle with what to do. My number 5. Now I can see the non-video game inclined listeners being like, tuning out. Well, stick around. There's going to be something fun at the end. There's not. Don't worry.
Well, you know what? They might get some joy out of because it's not just gaming. It's like how the game affected our lives and how it influenced us, and that sort of thing.
Yes. So my number 5 is Metal Gear Solid 3.
Whoa.
Snake Eater. That's the name of the game. So
PS1?
PS2. PlayStation 2. So this game came out, I don't know, let's say 2005-ish. I don't know off the top of my head. I almost want to look it up to be like, damn, I was correct. But I don't know. And it's what was the tagline? The Metal Gear Solid series of games is tactical espionage action. That was the name. And it lives up to it. I'm trying to remember the last time I played. It was probably 5-6 years ago.
Right.
So you take the place of Snake, right? Or in this game he's Naked Snake, but in the other games his codename is Solid Snake. And you're like an ops, like a special ops sort of like soldier, tactical espionage,
like a Tom Clancy
spy. Yeah, exactly, right? And it takes place in the jungle, and you're like trying to stop some evil people from like overthrowing some shit going on. It sounds very generic, but I don't want to get into the weeds. Like Metal Gear Solid, man, there's like 30-minute cutscenes in that game. It's like watching a movie.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. The fourth Metal Gear Solid 4, it's like insane. Like literally 45-minute cutscene.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like full-on movies.
Yeah, like a full-on movie. I remember finishing the fourth one. I was with Anthony, who the listeners may remember from Here We Go Again. I don't remember the episode title, but that
Shout out
or
to
the episode
Anthony.
number, but that was the title. Shout out, even though he never listens, but he's been on the show twice. And it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. We finished the game. We're like, oh yeah, we finally finished. And like we're watching because we wanted to go to bed, but like we're watching, it's like an hour goes by. You're watching the cutscene, dude. When you finish the game, it's like literally a cutscene like over an hour long.
Wow.
It's like insane.
That's cool though. They packed a movie into it.
Yeah, I remember it was one of the first games I bought after I got a PlayStation 2. And then a couple years later, I had never played the second game in the series. And Anthony had never played the third game in the series, but he had the second, and I had the third. So he came and stayed over my house for a week or whatever. And then I played the second game in the series because I'd never played it, right? And he was playing another game, which will make a feature on the list later. And then when he finished that, when I finished that, then he played the third game. Well, I've played the other game, which we'll see later on the list.
Right.
And you get to the ending, and like something's revealed at the ending.
Yeah.
And he was like, not understand. He's like, oh, what's going on? And he's like, oh. And I got to see the aha moment in his eyes.
Yeah.
Well, like something like
clicked.
I revealed for him.
Yeah.
So that's one of the moments that stands out for me.
Man, I kind of miss those days where you and just like a good friend of yours just game for a
Dude, just
significant
hanging
amount of
out,
time.
not having to go to work, not having to pay insurance or
No.
pay your taxes.
No.
The good old days.
Yeah, man.
The good old days. All right, Ian. That was my number 5.
All right, so my number 5 is a game that's pretty recent. Spider-Man for the PS4. So
Excellent game.
thank you. The reason why I had it is since I was a kid, I've been a huge Spider-Man fan, like from reading the comics to watching the cartoons to playing the games, and I've been playing the game since the Sega Genesis to the N64 to the GameCube, and then so on and so forth. So I've just been playing Spider-Man games for years on end, and
I have to imagine this was the best one.
Yeah. It just put everything that was amazing about each of those games, like combine it into one game.
They revealed this game at E3 a couple years back, and was it when they first revealed it?
Yeah.
Or they did a lengthy demo of it? I don't remember. But it was at the E3. I watched in the movie theater.
Wow.
That I mentioned before. And it was like, everybody was like, what? Dude, blew my mind. I was like, I cannot believe how good this game looks.
Yeah,
Not just like just the visuals, but like it just looks amazing.
And it was crazy too because I had, at the time when that announcement got made, I had an Xbox at the time, so I ended up trading in my Xbox for a PS4 because that game and another game on my list was coming out. And I was like, I can't miss these two games.
And that's the power of the PS4.
Yeah,
great choice.
Yeah.
It doesn't make my top 5 like all time list, but if I do like top 5 for like this
generation,
it'd probably be up there. Maybe for like my top 10 all time. Great choice.
And a bit of a shout out to you, but this is the first game I platinumed. I know you're a platinum king.
Platinum trophy, I love those trophies, dude. I could do a standalone podcast just about PlayStation trophies.
Yeah.
But there's nobody. So last week, Kalen brought up the idea of like things you love that nobody else loves as much, and that's one of those things for me. Nobody else likes them.
And for those of you that don't know, basically trophies or achievements on the Xbox platform, they're basically little like achievements that you get for completing certain things in the game.
It's like the meta game, right? So you'll have, you'll play a game and there will be a list of trophies that each game has, and it'll be like, beat level 1, beat level 2, beat level 5 without taking any damage, or just random shit like that.
Yeah.
That, the people who create the game also create the trophy list. And when you unlock all the trophies for a particular game, you get the platinum trophy.
Yeah.
It's like one of life's greatest treasures.
And John is just killing it.
Yeah. I've got like 55, 56.
Jeez.
I set out a goal at the beginning of the year because I was going into the year with 48 platinums. I said, okay, I want to hit 1 a month on average. So then I finished the year with 60. We're sitting at about 55 or 56 right now. I'll do a end of the year check-in. All right. My number 4. The oldest game on my list. This takes me back. It should probably be higher, but it's so hard to pick. Actually, it's not the oldest game. Actually, it is the oldest game. All right. Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Kong Quest. Diddy Kong's Quest.
Nice.
On the Super Nintendo.
I never played that.
Dude, one of the best games I've ever played. So like this would legitimately probably be on a top 5 if this list was like just best. So as a kid, I can't remember where it is I played Donkey Kong Country, the first one, somewhere. I don't know, my cousin's house or something. And so they had a trilogy of games for the Super Nintendo, and I remember I played it and I was like, man, I want to get it so bad, it's amazing. But that was back in the day when like cartridges used to cost like $80, right, Canadian, which is like,
that's a lot.
Probably like this is 90s money, right? So it's probably like closer to $90 now. It's expensive for games.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like 5
so
years
I don't
old.
buy
So you don't
new
have any
games
money
anymore,
yeah.
man. $90. It's like unless it's a big one coming up, but.
So I learned later on, right? Because it was also hard to find these games, right? Because not like you can buy them digitally like you can now. So you had to like go out to Toys R Us and different stores to find them. And I learned later on that my parents found them. I bought all 3, but saved them.
Wow.
And like they asked me like, oh, which one do you want, right? If you could have one of the 3, but I didn't know they had all 3, so I was like, oh, number 2, because I had played number 1 already so many times at like somebody else's house.
Right.
So then I got the second one for Christmas. I'm like, oh yeah, it's awesome. And then I had to wait until like First Communion or something else, or another Christmas, or my birthday.
But your birthday is like right after Christmas, though.
Yeah, it is. It's in January. I don't know. I don't remember all the details, Ian. Maybe they didn't do this at all. I'll have to ask my mom and see. But anyways, the second game, just fantastic. Yeah. It's like a step up, like a big step up from the first game, because instead of having the slow ass Donkey Kong running around, you get Dixie Kong. She's got like a long ponytail, so she does a little like helicopter twirl when she's jumping.
And she's much quicker.
And she's much quicker. You got Diddy Kong. It's just a fun time. It's way longer than the first game. The visuals for the time on like Super Nintendo
just blew your mind.
Just blew your mind. Like amazing. Just amazing. And one of the best soundtracks. Shout out to David Wise. Best in the biz.
Wow.
Dude, one of the best video game soundtracks of all time. Probably the best. It still holds up to this day. Holds up.
Did they put it on Spotify or?
I don't know if it's officially on Spotify.
You never know, man.
I'll have to look that up after this, but you can definitely find it on YouTube. I think I've tweeted that from my own account
like
before.
When I'm at work, I always like look at my Spotify on my desktop, and I always see like what you're listening to. And
really, actually look at that stuff.
Yeah,
they was broadcasting. Sometimes put me on blast. What did it say I was listening to last time we checked?
I think it was the Halo.
The Halo soundtrack. That's a good one. That's a good one. But this, I still think this one's probably the best ever.
Right.
That's a good one. All right. Well, that's my number 4. We're going to go through this at a glacial pace.
Yeah.
We're going to match Kalen's record here from last week.
You know what? This is a good segue because my number 4 is Halo 2.
Very nice.
The reason for this was because I never seen a game connect so many people at one time. Like Halo 2 for us in elementary school, John, me, Dan, and a couple others went to the same school. So like when this game came out, and Xbox Live was starting to blow up a little. Xbox Live being the online service where we got to play online together.
Dude, it was like before this we played games, right?
Yeah.
But when Halo came out, Halo 2, dude, it was like a revolution.
Yeah.
It was like just on another level. I have never been so excited, which, spoilers, Halo 2 is my number 3 game, so this kind of links together nicely, so we'll both talk about it. I've never been so excited about a release.
It really was.
Maybe Halo 3 I was more excited, but Halo 2, it was just a magical time.
Yeah, it was a masterpiece of a game because it linked together like a beautiful story with an amazing like multiplayer, and like we used to get really competitive.
The story was fun, but the multiplayer was where it was at. Like Halo 2 is revolutionary for the time, right? It introduced this whole idea of, and I don't know if some of the stuff existed in other games, maybe on PC and stuff, but like certainly not on console at the time. So it had like, you can make lobbies, right? So you meet up with your friends. You're in the lobby before you go play the game. And then from there you could like join like playlists, right? So like, oh, I only want to play like, Team Slayer, which is like deathmatch type things, right? Just most kills and the game wins.
Mm-hmm.
And you take like, your people from the lobby, right? Your friends, you join in and then you play together against like other people, other groups. And then the game finishes, you can go back and you see your scores and everything. Everybody's back in the lobby and you're like shit talking the other people and like, dude, just so many nights just spent staying up late. Like, it was just... Dude, those are the days. Yeah. Like, it was a phenomenon. You're right. Like, that's exactly why it was on my list. Is it the best Halo game? I don't know. Halo 3 is probably a better game. But Halo 2 was just magical, dude.
And you know what, man? Like, at Danny's wedding, we saw one of our friends who was actually one of the best Halo players on the planet.
Dude, this guy was on another level.
Yeah.
Like, we would go to his house to play street hockey outside.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't even come outside and play with us. He'd be inside playing Halo. We would just use his equipment on the street with like other kids.
Yeah.
Because we didn't play with this kid was on another level.
And he used to host System Link. So what that means is that some of us would bring over our Xboxes, and we would just like hook up to different TVs in the house with like long ass LAN cables all over. So you walk into his house and you just see like blue cables all over his house, just connected to different Xboxes, and we used to run tournaments. And one of my favorite memories that I still bring up to this day was when I showed up late after you guys had ordered pizza, and there was the Cineparts that you guys were playing for because there was only 4 Cineparts.
I think it was like pizza or something, and it came with this like cinnamon bun thing that you could pull apart into pieces.
Yeah,
and there's only 4 parts, and there's how many people are at this thing? Like
at least 12, I think, and then like. So we obviously played for them, and like me coming late, I didn't pay for the pizza. I didn't chip in or anything. So like I ended up somehow coming in 4th, and Danny was 5th. So I'm there like eating this like cinnamon bun thing and really proud of myself. And then Danny realized that I didn't pay, and he just loses his shit. Oh,
dude,
so
I remember actually we did a practice round before the proper round for the cinnamon bun part match. And in the practice round, I just got wrecked. I'm like, oh no! But then in the real round, I won, so I got a piece.
Cinnamon bun bros here.
Piece, yeah. Dude, I could just
such a good game.
I could have a whole podcast just about this game. Like,
yeah,
it was just magical. Like
the GX clan.
Yeah, we were GX, which I don't even know where it came from.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But I was GX Armageddon, I think.
Talking about the LAN parties is funny because it reminds me. So he had a few over the years. But I only went to that one in particular. We're talking about the cinnamon bun thing. But there's another one he had, which was for Halo 1 before the second game came out. And I don't know, we didn't have school that day or something. And it was because probably the summer. Damn, remember having summer vacation? And I slept into like noon or something. And then, I don't know, one of them called me, probably Dan or something. He was like, yo, are you coming? I was like, nah.
Yeah.
And I regret it now because like, dude, you cannot go back and do those LAN parties again. Like, it doesn't happen. Everybody has lives now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And you can just play online stuff, but just, like, the
it's
magic
not the same.
of it.
It's
right?
not the
you
same.
got 4 guys looking at one TV, like, in the other thing, and, you're killing people or whatever. And then it's like, you hear them like, oh, shit, I'm dead, or whatever. Like, you hear the impact, dude. Like, you kill somebody, you hear the...
Yeah,
like,
you hear someone scream. Yeah.
But I'll never forget, another thing about Halo 2 I'll never forget is, it had this cool like online system for the way you would rank up, right? So each one of these different playlists, you'd have a level, right? So everybody started at level 1 and you go up to level 50, which I think this was pretty unique at the time. I don't think any other games did
because they had different symbols for different levels, like the stars and the...
Yeah, if you got up to like the 50th level, it'd be like just the Halo ring. And I always remember I was... like walking from the classroom to go to the washroom at school, and then one of our other friends who also played at the time, Pat, was walking back, and he looked at me and said, "Did you get it?" Like talking about Halo, because he just had to say, "Did you get it?" Because come on, Halo was on the brain for everybody.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at him and said, "Yeah, I'm already level 5," and I put my hand up like 5, and he was like, "What?" Because I had got it the night before or whatever.
Yeah.
Just those memories, dude.
Crazy.
Just take me back.
I remember having to beg my grandma for a credit card so I can go online.
Dude, because it was expensive too. It was like $60 a year.
Yeah.
For the online.
And
it's like as a kid, in grade 8, as a kid, you have to convince your parents to buy it. I remember my parents were going to get it for me for Christmas, and I said, "No, come on, I can't wait till Christmas. Like everybody else has it. Like I can't." And then they're like, "No, you gotta wait till Christmas." And then one time after dinner, I think I told this story on the podcast before.
Right. Yeah.
One time after dinner, I don't know, I went to go wash my hands or like go to the washroom or something, and came back and they're like, "Oh, can you get the tin foil out of the drawer?" I went to go open the drawer and they had put the game in there. So he was like, "Oh yeah, that's awesome." And actually, I remember the very first day Halo 2 came out, you and our friend Anthony, because you got the game the first day, which I didn't. I had to wait until I get in this tinfoil drawer like a couple weeks later. Came over to my place to like play it, which I don't know how. Like, dude, if I was you, I'd be like, "Fuck you guys, I'm going home."
No, I wanted to play with you guys, man. Of course.
And then my mom didn't know it's like, this big event, and she's like, "You guys gotta go and rake the leaves." And we're like, "Mom, no, you don't understand. We can't rake the leaves. I gotta play, and we've only have so much time before Ian has to go home."
Yeah, mom used to get mad because I used to be out late, just like playing with people. Like,
Dude, I remember we'd play until like 11 p.m. and then like I'd be playing with Dan, and then it's like, okay, we'd stop playing, but we'd keep our headsets on, so we'd still talking to each other, and then we'd like watch Family Guy, and then it would finish, then we'd go back, right, like 11:30. Those are the days. All right, we've gone on long enough about Halo.
Yeah.
Listeners, write in if Halo means anything to you guys. So Halo was your number 4. It was also my number 3, so we sort of merged those together to a nice 15-minute
rant about it.
Item on the list. So what's your number 3?
My number 3, another game that brought people together, especially in school, Pokemon Red and Blue. You know what? If it wasn't for that game, I wouldn't have met Matt, who would have introduced me to Danny, who would have introduced me to you. So I'm very grateful for that game, because like that game has brought together so many good memories. I remember we used to go to Mike Brinkis' house, our other Polish friend, and we used to play him, me, you.
We have like tournaments.
Yeah, me, you, or Chris Labaska, excuse me. We used to play that.
Playback.
Yeah, way back playback. We used to start the game from new and like see how
we'd
far
have
we
intense
get.
tournaments, right?
Yeah,
Everybody play until you hit the 1 hour point. Play so much to the point where it'd be like you'd turn the volume down on the Game Boys to like conserve the battery, right? Because you were just burning through AA's back in the day, and it's like, whose volume's up? And it's like, no, mine's down. Oh, mine's down. And it's like, you play so much, you'd hear the volume, dude, like in your head. Like, you know the exact music. Like, it was insane.
We'd just be watching a movie in the background while we were all holding a Game Boy so close to our face and, like, playing. Oh.
Those are the days, dude.
Yeah, and then bringing over just the link cable battles as well.
Yeah, because back then you had to, like, plug one cable in, like a cable into each of the Game Boys, right, to battle each other.
And then I remember when the hack became popular and everybody had like level 100 Pokemon.
Yeah, there's a glitch where then you could like duplicate your items. Yeah. You could like get 99 of a particular item, and then the one item in the game called a rare candy, you would feed your Pokemon and it would just go up a level automatically.
Yeah.
And you'd get like duplicate those, so it'd be like 99 of those. So you could just feed your Pokemon rare candies over and over.
Yeah.
And then they just pump up the levels.
Man, good game.
Those are the days.
And now another one's coming out in November, so I'm hoping I can rebuild that excitement.
Pokemon Sword and Shield on the Switch, Nintendo Switch. Looking forward to that one.
Hopefully Danny gets it too, so we can bully him around in that game too.
Probably, but somehow I doubt it. I could just see him listening to this podcast going, nerds. Yeah. It's like, Dan, you don't know the magic of Pokemon? A loser. Yeah. My number 2.
Yeah.
Now, if I had to pick in terms of quality the best game I've ever played, without a doubt it's number 2. Okay. The Last of Us.
Oh.
This game came out on the PlayStation 3 back in 2013, right before the PS4 came out. Or no, actually, was the PS4 already out? No, it was just coming out in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
It's because this came out in the middle of the year. Now, I played before the game came out. I was like, okay, I'm excited. So like it comes from Naughty Dog, right? The name of the studio. They've made like the Uncharted games and stuff. Pretty high quality stuff. So I was excited. I assumed it'd be good. I played this game. It was the single-handedly just the best game I've ever played in my life. Now, it's a game about... It's like set in a post-apocalyptic world, right? Where like the world's been ravaged. And there's like zombies. Mm-hmm. Zombie-type things. They're called clickers.
Yeah, right? That's right.
Which is basically, they're blind, right? But they have like really good hearing, right? So you got to be like very... very quiet and move very slowly, right? And they can't see you. Otherwise, if they see you, you're dead. They're gonna just swarm you and you're dead. But you play as Joel, this like older character, is a little rough and tumble around the edges, and then he has a companion with him, a younger girl, Ellie, right? And it's not his daughter or anything, but just like somebody else in the in the world here. I'm trying to remember what the exact premise is without spoiling it. Right, like how they set it up. But basically, you're taking this girl and you're traveling to another part of the world, right? Like just the two of you trying to survive. But like just the story it tells, a connection between the two characters. Dude, I've never played a game like... So something that was special about this game was the way I would play it too. I'd wait until it was late at night because, I was living at home at the time, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't want any distractions or anything. Wait till everybody gone to bed. Then I would sit there. It's nice and quiet. Got my headphones on and just play the game in silence and peace for a couple hours. Okay, finish. Right, I gotta go to bed.
Right.
Go to work the next day, come back, do the same thing. So like no distractions, just totally focus. I never played a game where it's like I was like, oh man, I gotta go to bed, and I'm like worried about the characters. I'm like, oh man, I got the pit. My God, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna survive? And then you get to the ending, and I obviously won't spoil anything because, like,
That's good emotional connection right there,
dude,
man.
it really is. Because, like, listeners, if you haven't played this, like, you have to play this. They actually have a sequel coming out, which after the ending, so like they ended it what I thought was like perfectly. Where it ended, and it just in my gut, I'm like, God, how can you end it? Like,
Right.
you know, I gotta see more, but I
gotta
thought it
replay
ended
that
perfectly.
game, man.
It's just a masterpiece. Like,
Right,
I played this
right.
game and I was like, this is the best game I've ever played. I finished it and like I had like a gaming depression.
Wow.
I was like it extended past games. It was like, man, how am I gonna ever play another game? Like, man, I'm just so bummed. Like, I wish I could just pay the money to get the game again and like wipe my memory and play it again. Like that's the level this game is on. It was just so good.
Mm-hmm.
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Shout out and a half.
Shout out to Naughty Dog. We said shout out a lot this episode.
Yeah, dude, just the ScruffCast shout out podcast. Shout out. All right, you number 2.
My number 2. So, my number 2 is BioShock Infinite.
BioShock Infinite.
So, this game was just incredible, man. Like, I remember when I finished the game, I put down the controller and I just didn't say anything for like at least like 15 minutes. Like, it was crazy.
Dude, it's the same sort of feeling I had
Yeah.
with The Last of Us. And I remember because, well, I've played BioShock Infinite as well. The ending, which I can't even spoil because I don't even understand what's happening, is like insane.
Yeah, because it has like a sort of Inception type quality to it.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, it takes place in a city that basically floats in the sky. And that's
Colombia.
Like, Colombia, yeah. And it's just like this supposedly perfect paradise that gets twisted upside down, and the combat is unreal. And
Yeah, it's strange. I remember when the game was first revealed, everyone was like, oh, and it looked amazing.
yeah,
But then it took a while till it came out after it was revealed. And it's actually the third in the series, right? Because the first 2 BioShock games took place like underwater.
and the
Right?
first
I
one
played
was
the first one.
great. The second one was a bit of a letdown, but this one was a really strong return.
That seems to be the consensus. I've heard the second one's kind of the weakest one. I've never played the second one. I played the first one,
Yeah.
and then I played the third one. Third one was good, but I don't know. The end was kind of confusing. I wasn't sure what was going on.
Yeah, it was only until like I replayed it and I actually understood it. The better
Going
second
back in
time,
again, yeah.
Because I remember I just went, like, as soon as I beat it, I remember just sitting there and I'm like, yo, I'm playing this again because I just had such a good time playing it. And the story was just so confusing that it made sense to play it a second
Go
time.
through again.
And after the second playthrough, I was like, yes, I get it. And this is incredible. And I never felt a game that like pulled me back in like that. So,
Fair enough.
yeah, that's my
Games-
number 2.
I wonder, games that are better after a replay. I'm trying to think of anything else. It's in there for me. After beat The Last of Us, I had to go through and play it again. I was too bummed. I was like, I gotta get back in this game world. And then I've never played it again since. There's a sequel coming out. And we haven't heard anything more about any new BioShock games in a long time.
No, the studio sort of moved on after the third one because it was such an ambitious thing to pull off at the time, especially for the systems that were out during then.
Yeah, it was a while back, like 2013.
Yeah,
Maybe a bit earlier.
because it was my last year of university too, so I remember just like getting pumped about that as well. But
Those are the days you looking at a game and like being like, yeah, I can't wait for it to come out, getting excited. Now it's like, oh, man, my Google Doc sheet with all my games, my spreadsheet's got too many. I
not
can't
maybe-
afford any new ones.
yeah, exactly that.
That's my life now.
Can't afford any new ones, man. It's depressing. But honorable mentions. Let's do
Honorable
it.
mention. My honorable mention. A game that turned 15 years old yesterday.
Wow.
Fable for the original Xbox.
Anthony was raving about that game, and he was the one that put me on it.
Dude, it was just unlike anything I'd ever played at the time.
Yes.
So to explain it
Genius
to the
game.
listeners, it was like sort of a third person, action RPG type game. And one of the things that was so cool was you could it had like this morality system, right? So you could be good or you could be evil, right? And if you were good, right, you would, you'd have blue eyes in the game, your hair would turn white.
You basically turned into an angel.
You'd have a halo. You sort
Yeah.
of had this like heavenly glow around you, like a blue aura.
Mm-hmm. People liked you more.
People
than
liked you, right? People respected you. Because you're like an honorable hero. But if you were evil, right, and like killing innocent civilians, taking the evil choice in quests and stuff, your eyes would turn red and your skin would turn a little pale.
Yeah,
and
you slowly start turning into a demon.
pretty much you'd grow horns and like you had this like red aura around you,
Yeah.
like flies around you. People would be like, ew, ew. Nobody wanted to be around you. And it was just, I don't know, it was so unique, like, in that way. And it was so exciting. Like, you could buy a house in that game.
Yeah.
Right? And you can get married.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can have any kids. In the second game was a better game, but the first game holds a stronger place in my heart because I remember how excited I was for that game.
That kind of set the tone for other games to do that.
And I remember Anthony's like, "Oh, you want to come over and play Fable? I got it." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And then he just went over and watched him play for like 3 hours.
Yeah, like I said, man,
like,
he was the one that got me into that game.
Yeah. So the one I saw yesterday has been 15 years. I actually texted Anthony. I said, Fable 1 came out 15 years ago today. He just said, Jesus. That's all he said. Because it made us feel old because I remember that game coming out. But I remember I was so excited. Yeah, and I got it for Christmas. Shout out Fable.
Yeah.
All right. Your honorable mention, Ian?
My honorable mention has to be Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So I never was really into fighting games at all, but when Marvel 3 came out, there was something like oddly special about it. Just the fact that like your favorite heroes would come face off against these like random like Capcom heroes that a lot of them I didn't know at the time. So not only was it introducing me to like Capcom characters, like a lot of them I grew to love, like Dante from Devil May Cry, which is now like one of my all-time favorite games, which I didn't put on this list for some odd reason, but the combat system was
sneaking out a little mini honorable mention there.
Yeah.
I see your tricks.
The combo system was just incredible. Like, and I remember that game actually was the reason why I got alcohol poisoning in school. Because during the time, so every Friday, like my roommates and I would play beer pong. So I'll like, while I was waiting for the beer pong table to be free, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run a game online just to pass some time.
What system were you playing on? Just out of curiosity.
360. But I also was I had one of those like arcade controllers as well.
Oh yeah, the fight stick.
The fight sticks, yeah. So I had one of those.
Dude, you're hardcore.
I love the game that much. So I remember going to my room, starting it up, just casually drinking my beer. I go online and I end up getting my first perfect. And I like screamed when I got it. And perfect just basically means that no one touched you in the game, and you just like laid out
a flawless sort of victory, right?
You laid out such a beat down that it like they were able to like touch you at all. And I remember going crazy after that, and then my friends
drank yourself into alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, pretty much. The next day, like I was passed out on like the floor, and like yeah,
dude, but it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. So
I've always had like I've always been terrible at fighting games, but I always had this sort of respect for them because they're like
it takes a certain amount of
brutal,
skill,
right?
Man.
Yeah, they take a certain amount of skill and. Like
it's not easy to get into at all.
They have this big fighting game tournament every year called Evo.
Yeah.
Right, which I know you'll know, but I'm sure the listeners. I have to imagine my mom turned the podcast off long ago.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like video games. If I gotta hear about The Last of Us one more goddamn time. Because I remember like, Mom, you don't understand. I'm so bummed the game's finished. But Evo, it's like this giant fighting game tournament where there's like thousands and thousands of people. It's like fills out a stadium. Almost, right?
It's on my bucket list to go.
Dude, I'd love to go too. I think it's
you know what my biggest gripe about it though is and. This is a pretty mean thing to say, but like I remember once I walked into the store that sold like Magic the Gathering cards and like board games as well, but I was looking for a board game and they were hosting a Magic the Gathering tournament. John, I kid you not, you open the door and it was like the worst smelling people you would ever. These are people that just play Magic and they don't shower or anything, dude. Like I imagine evil smelling like that.
Yeah, but at least it's in a stadium, so there's open air.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that too. But dude, it's dedication to your craft. You don't have time to shower.
Oh.
You think our Halo friend showered? No, he just had to keep playing Halo.
I'm not sure. I hope he showered, man.
It's just called dedication
People,
to your craft.
I understand that you're fans, like hardcore fans about something, but please shower. Keep up your hygiene.
Just a little PSA. Yeah. Watch those stinky balls, losers.
Yeah. And Evo, man, I wouldn't. It's like a Las Vegas convention center, so like I wouldn't want to walk in and like have it smell like shit.
No, but it's just I don't know, dude. It's like I can only imagine like the pressure of winning one of those tournaments.
I know because you're sponsored and all that, but anyway,
one day.
Moving forward, number one, John.
Number one. This is a game that was already on your list, but I saved a little bit of my story for the ending, which I'm sure an hour and 8 minutes, and the listeners are like, jeez, more stories. Pokemon Red and Blue for the Game Boy. Now, my favorite game of all time, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And like you said, similar to Halo, where like Halo was like a cultural event, right? You know, especially among all of us, right? Everybody's playing. It was like the biggest entertainment launch in history at the time, right? It brought in more money than anything else. Although now you have like Marvel movies bringing in $1 billion on the first day, or not on the first day, but like on the first weekend, and like Grand Theft Auto and stuff brings in billions.
Oh, that could have been an honorable mention.
Yeah,
that whole series. But anyway, sorry, go on.
But this game was like a cultural revolution, like among everybody. Everybody knew about Pokemon.
The cartoon did a good job. That's
why. The anime was insane.
Yeah.
Okay, it was like super popular. The trading card game, dude. I remember going to this convenience store near where we lived, JJ's.
Yes.
I get me a little pack of like 5 Pokemon cards. Even though like nobody played the card game, but you just had the cards. I still got my original Pokemon cards.
Really?
Yep. Wow. It's in my closet. I'll show you this. Show you them after this.
Yeah, please do.
It was just on another level. Like, it was like Pokemania. It just like enraptured the world, dude. You go to Blockbuster, they had Pokemon here, Pokemon there, Pokemon everywhere.
The movie came out too in the theaters. That was a big event too.
I remember going to watch the movie with my dad. And he fell asleep, of course. What parent wants to sit and watch their son go, wow, Pokemon?
There was a collectible from the movies. I don't know if you remember, but...
yeah, dude, the gold Mew card. Of course I remember. Yeah. I don't have it anymore, but...
And then Burger King had those like crazy toys that you could buy.
A little Pokeball.
With the gold thing inside of it, yeah.
But I just remember it was like insane because like everyone had Pokemon. Like we'd go out at recess with our Game Boys and you're just like... looking for that one kid who has a link cable, because I never had one growing up. And you're like, oh, do you want to trade? I remember taking like a really shitty Pokemon and giving it the name of like Mew, like with one of the rarest Pokemon there is. Well, back in the day anyway, and trying to convince like dumbass little kids to trade with us. And I see dumbass little kids like, I'm in grade 3. I'm trying to trick the grade 1s, and then like the kids would be like, hey, well, I'm not doing that.
Trying to outsmart these little kids.
Yeah, trying to outsmart the little kids. And it was just like, dude, it was just Pokemania. It was everywhere. I remember. It was like a late summer night, and our next door neighbors, right, who my parents knew or talked to or whatever, they had some company over, right? So everybody was just kind of sitting outside, and then their kid was there, and he had a Game Boy, and he had Pokemon, and he had a Game Shark, which meant you could just put in a code and get new Pokemon. Because like some Pokemon, for listeners unfamiliar with Pokemon, I don't know how that's possible, but basically, when you start the game, you can pick from one of 3 starter Pokemon, and then the only other way to get the other 2 starter Pokemon is from somebody else's game who has them, and then they trade them to you. Because the whole goal of Pokemon
is the odds of them trading them is so low.
Because you can only get them by starting the game.
Yeah.
The whole point of Pokemon, right? You got to do all these battles, collect the badges, and win whatever, yada yada. But you're trying to fill out the Pokedex, right? Which is 151 Pokemon in the original game, and through this random kid who I didn't even know, it was just a neighbor's kid's friend, whatever, blah blah blah, had the Game Shark. I managed to get the other 2, which was crucial.
Lucky,
right?
Lucky.
And then I eventually, like, it took me like hours and hours and hours and hours, like every recess, every day, managed to complete the entire Pokedex.
Wow.
When in the 3rd grade. And it's probably the game I spent the most time with, because like you said, we'd go over to our other friend's house and we'd have so many tournaments.
Yep.
To play tournaments and tournaments and tournaments and tournaments. And I actually still have my Pokemon Red cartridge.
Damn, that's
on my shelf over there.
Yeah.
And it has a save from one of those tournaments.
Really?
On still, yep. The battery hasn't died on it.
Wow.
And I remember after getting my report card in grade 2, I got to go get Pokemon Blue. And then after that, I was like... Remember, I was trying to tell my dad, no, we got to get Pokemon Red because I need to get the other Pokemon I can't get. And he goes, what? I don't understand. Don't you already have Pokemon? Right? Imagine trying to explain to Jaime Pokemon. So then, I remember going down into the basement while I was doing laundry. I remember saying, Mom, please, I got to get Pokemon Red. I got to get Pokemon Red. She's like, oh, but don't you already have Pokemon? Isn't it the same thing? No, it's a different one. You don't understand. I can't get Ekans. I can't get Arbok. I can't get all these other Pokemon. Because it was like the ones specifically in the different versions.
To the game, yeah.
And for that reason, Pokemon just holds a special place in my heart, my number 1.
Man, your parents are MVP, man. Just get you the game like that,
I probably bugged the shit out of them for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you want to shut me up?
Yeah.
I'm sure the listeners are just dying for me to shut up now. All right, Ian. We've finally reached the end of your list as well.
Yep. So this one's a bit of a odd one, but my number 1 is a game called Persona 4 Golden.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say Persona 5.
No, Persona 4 Golden, because I thought it did the story way better than 5. And it was much more, it had that more emotional connection to it. And the fact that it was portable to on the Vita, rest in peace.
Shout out to the PlayStation Vita, dude. I still use mine.
Yeah. I bought the Vita just for that game, and I was completely satisfied before I returned it. I got my money back.
So try to explain
So Persona
to
game,
like imagine like my mom's listening to this podcast. Try to explain Persona to her.
Persona is a game where you're a high school student and you move to a new city, and basically you're trying to make friends, but as well as fight off demons that affect you when you're your friends or kids at the school that you eventually become friends with. So
it's very anime.
Yeah,
very Japanese.
Very Japanese, very anime. But they do English version, so it's not too anime. Like, there's no tentacles or anything freaky.
Ian, what are you talking about over here?
Freaky
I'm talking
anime.
about those parts.
Freaky anime stuff. But it's nice, though, because, like, the balance between, like, actually fighting demons and, like, having your own high school life and, like, trying to balance out the stresses of both is, like, actually really well done. And, like, you actually build relationships with these people. And you're it's odd because, like, you're playing the game. You're like, I actually care about this person. Like, it's...
Dude, that's the thing. Like, people who don't play video games don't understand
the storytelling,
the storytelling, right? Like, just how deep they can get. Recently I played earlier this year Red Dead Redemption 2, another great game. Didn't make my list. Easily could have. If it was top 5 quality, maybe. Right, it's a story about these cowboys or whatever, yada yada, right? Set in the Old West. But, like, dude, you play the game, it's like 40 hours long. You connect with the characters when you go on these journeys of these games. Right. And I remember describing it to my mom, and she was like, really? Like, I didn't even think, like, video games told stories. I thought you just play. Because, like, when people don't play video games, right, and older people, they picture, like, Super Mario, you're running and you're jumping, you're just playing the game, right? But, like, games these days now are just insane. Like, the stories they can tell. And I'd say it's probably if done right, it's probably the best medium for telling stories. Yeah, better than books, better than movies. Because it has the visual aspect of movies, but it has the interactivity, right, of a...
And it's always funny because I remember one of a friend that we used to go to school with, he was like, do you ever think you're going to grow up from video games? I'm like, no. Dude, you
don't grow up. It's like growing up from books.
Yeah.
Right, and it's better than books, too.
I'm so happy to be, like, almost 30 and still playing games as much as I can.
And the thing is, like...
But I have no wife and kids, so as soon as I get those, I imagine that it goes down a bit, but...
Dude, you just play the games with your kid.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait to play video games with my kid.
Yeah. Show them the world that you just, like, grew up on.
Yeah.
Especially since you have all your systems still.
Yep. But I hung on to them and never sold them.
Yeah. That was my number one.
Solid choice. I played maybe the first few hours of it a long time ago.
It is a long game.
It is a long, yeah.
Yeah. 90 plus hours.
Who has that sort of time?
I did during the time.
Video games.
So, ScruffCast listeners, how long is it now?
We're sitting at 1 hour and 16 minutes. By the time we round out the intro, outro, we're going to give Kalon a run for his money. I can just imagine. I'm going to get another message from Dan. Jesus Christ! Why 1 hour and 18 minutes?
No, Danny has to come beat that then.
No, dude, Dan's gonna come in. He's gonna see. We gotta average it down to the mean again. You guys are getting 20 minutes.
Though, with Danny's smoke breaks though, it kind of counts as 1 hour and more.
Yeah, but he doesn't take smoke breaks during the podcast.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Right, but he always has a smoke break right before the podcast. So he gets in the groove. So when I got you and Kalon who don't smoke coming over, and you just sit down, you're like, boom, ready to go. I'm like, whoa, I'm not ready.
I need Danny's smoke breaks.
I need Danny's smoke break. I need a top 10 video or two, Got to get in the groove.
Yeah.
This week we had some Mario Kart 8 going. Yeah. Last week I had Kalon show me his baseball anime.
Some good conversation going, man.
That's the way it is. That's the ScruffCast, a good conversation podcast. I think that's a good enough place to end it right there.
And you know what, man? I just want to say thank you for having me.
Oh, dude, no, thank you. You're doing us
thank
the
you
favor.
On behalf of Kalon as well. Having us on.
Yeah, he didn't thank at the end, but we were long-winded. We were ready to get off the air.
True.
Well,
we enjoy listening, and thank you. I imagine that other listeners, I hope you get something out of this, even though this is a very techie game.
I hope so. And if you didn't, well, too bad. I had fun, so that's what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, thank you guys for filling in. I mean, I could do it by myself, but it should be a little
guys,
tough.
You need to email your question to Ponder
if
you guys have it.
Obviously, the times we've put out the call for new things, the listeners have not responded. We said, hey, we're going to kill Florida Man of the Week. 2 weeks later, my sister emails us, say Florida Man of the Week. It's like, girl's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead. Took too long. All right. Speaking of too long.
Yeah.
I think it's time to wrap this up.
Okay. Remember where to go, where to email?
Yes. Email us, scruffcast@gmail.com. Did you think this episode sucked? Well, then write in and tell us. Do you think it
Yeah,
was great?
please do, man.
Write in and tell us. If
Constructive
you're listening
feedback.
on YouTube, give us that thumb up. Tell your friends. Give us reviews on iTunes.
Don't forget to follow on Spotify as well.
Yes, we are on Spotify.
And
Search for the ScruffCast, because if you just search for ScruffCast, Jordan Stickles comes up.
Okay.
We talked about it a few weeks back. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Also, at ScruffCast on Instagram.
At the ScruffCast on Instagram.
Sorry,
Yes. I've been meaning to turn it into a dank meme account, but I've yet to post any memes. All right, that'll do. I'm trying to forget how I finished it last week. I don't know. Do you want the honors this week?
Well, everybody have a good week. Don't forget to write in, and thank you again to the ScruffCast. Dan, welcome back next week.
As I'm watching her go, all I'm thinking is, oh damn that bad thing. I can tell you're really good at distracting.
So sitting over here, testing the mic, looking at the waveform.
This ScruffCast is brought to you by the services of Kaelon. Has someone eating your food off your plate? Do you feel like it's an injustice? Call Kaelon and it will come to your defense.